Okay, so we're going to solve three problems today, okay, in this lesson. And the first problem that we're going to solve is number 2 from a reference Marion. Okay, a particle of mass m is constrained to move on the surface of a sphere of radius r by an applied force F, where F is a function of theta and phi. Okay, write the equation of motion. Okay. Uh, ang una natin kailangang tandaan dito is that uh, pansinin natin na yung motion ng particle ay constrained lang dun sa surface ng sphere. Okay, at yung sphere na yun ay merong radius r. Okay, which means that yung r, okay, capital R is a constant dun sa ating equation. So if we write yung ating equation of motion, okay, what we'll have are three components, okay, and those three components correspond to yung components along the spherical coordinate system. Yung bakit spherical coordinate system? Kasi by doing so, we eliminate one unit vector kasi yung component ng unit vector na yan will be a constant with respect to time, at yung unit vector na yan ay yung unit vector along the radius. Okay? Kasi nga constrained yung particle dun sa unit vector na yan. Or along the radius. So, in general, the force that a particle experiences can be written as F is equal to Fr, okay, r unit vector plus F theta, theta na unit vector, and F sub phi, and then phi na unit vector. Okay? This describes yung force na nararamdaman ng isang particle, and if a particle experiences this force, then it will move along the radius. Okay, it will have a variable radius. It will also have a variable theta and a variable azimuthal angle. Okay, so how do we describe ngayon yung constraint dun sa surface ng sphere? Well, since ito ay centripetal motion, okay, we can describe yung surface ng sphere to be simply equal to F R hat. Okay, so this is the component, or this is the force that the sphere experiences. But since constrained nga siya, the particle experiences on the surface of the sphere. Since constrained nga siya dun sa surface ng sphere, it experiences this centripetal force. So dapat maglagay tayo ng negative sign. So yung net force natin ngayon is the sum of this force and this force. Okay, and if you see, yung net force natin ay magiging equal na lang sa F theta hat plus F phi hat. Okay, kasi this one cancels with this one. So according to the second law of Newton, this should be written as mr double dot. Okay, so ito yung ating net force ngayon in component form, at ito yung expression for the net force according to the second law of Newton. So this is our working equation. Now our task is to get the equations of motion. So how do we describe motion? First, we need the position vector. Then kailangan din natin yung velocity vector, which is simply computed from the position vector as r dot, and the acceleration vector, which we will immediately get from the second derivative of r with respect to time. Okay, now the position vector, okay, is actually very simple. Okay, bakit? Kasi yung motion ng particle is constrained along the surface of the sphere, which means that its radius does not change. Okay, so equal na lang siya sa r. Okay, it's always on the surface of the sphere, therefore its position along the surface of the sphere is always r. And it can be anywhere, okay, along the theta and along the azimuthal angle. Okay, so yung position vector natin ngayon is very simply written as r hat. R vector is equal to capital R, okay, times r hat. So, yun na yun. Okay, if you ask where the particle is, it's on the surface of the sphere and it's a distance r from the center of that sphere. So the next thing we need to find out ay yung velocity, okay, which is yung time rate derivative ng position. Okay, ngayon, ang gagawin natin dito is to take the derivative of r hat with r vector with respect to time. And itong capital R na to is a constant, but in spherical coordinate system, this unit vector r is not a constant with respect to time. So kukunin natin, pwede natin kunin yung derivative niyan with respect to time. Okay, so we take the first derivative of that unit vector with respect to time, but in order for us to do that, okay, kailangan natin i-express ngayon itong r in terms of yung components niya along the x-axis, y-axis, tsaka z-axis sa Cartesian coordinate system. Bakit natin kailangan gawin yun? Kasi yung Cartesian coordinate system, yung unit vectors corresponding to the Cartesian coordinate system does not have any dependence with respect to time. Okay, so if you recall, yung unit vector r, okay, so dapat unit vector ito. Yung unit vector r is related to the Cartesian coordinates, Cartesian unit vectors in terms of this equation. So we have sine theta times cosine phi I hat, okay, plus sine theta times sine phi j hat plus cosine theta k hat. Similarly, since we're going to use these equations anyway, lagay na rin natin yung unit dependence ng unit vector ng theta sa Cartesian coordinate unit vectors. So this will become cosine theta cosine phi I hat plus cosine theta sine phi j hat plus sine theta k hat. Okay, so sandali. Shouldn't be plus, but it should be minus. Okay, so minus sine theta k hat. And then finally, yung unit vector na phi is equal to negative sine phi I hat plus cosine phi j hat. Okay? Now, mas madali na ngayon kunin yung time derivative sa mga to dahil walang time dependence ito, at saka ito. Of course, meron time dependence yung theta, okay, and yung phi. So, pag nakuha natin yung mga time dependencies na yun, ipapasok natin yan dito. Then we will have an expression for the time rate of change of position. Okay, that involves yung r, variables na r, theta, at saka phi. Okay, so if we begin to compute yung r hat dot, okay, anong makukuha natin? So we have theta dot, cosine theta, cosine phi, okay, plus phi dot, okay, okay, minus cosine theta, okay, sine phi dot, okay, at yan lahat ay dun sa unit vector na I hat, then sa unit vector na k hat, na j hat, we have negative theta dot sine theta sine phi, ay, sorry, ang tinitingnan ko ay, okay, so dapat theta dot cosine theta cosine phi, okay, and ay, sorry, sine phi, okay, and plus phi dot sine theta cosine phi, okay, unit vector j hat, and then finally dun sa last na term, so we have negative theta dot, okay, sine theta k hat. Okay, so gagawin natin ngayon is pagsasama-samahin natin yung lahat ng theta dot, lahat ng may theta dot. So ito yun, ito, at saka ito. Okay, and if you notice, we can actually rewrite this as theta dot, okay, tapos cosine theta cosine phi I hat minus or plus cosine theta sine phi j hat, and then minus sine theta k hat, okay, and yung term na to na nandun sa loob ng square brackets is actually theta hat, okay, so pwede na natin isulat yan dito equal sa theta dot, okay, tapos theta hat, okay, and finally yung dito naman lahat ng nasa lahat ng may overline, okay, pwede natin pagsamasamahin kasi pare-pareho silang may phi dot, okay, so we have plus phi dot, okay, ano yung meron? Cosine theta sine phi I hat plus sine theta, sine theta cosine phi j hat, okay, and kung i-factor out natin yung phi dot at saka sandali sine phi cosine, sine theta, so dapat ito ay hindi cosine theta, dapat yun ay sine theta, so just erase this for a while, okay, okay, so dapat ito ay sine, so ibig sabihin ito ay sine din, okay, so this is sine, this is also sine theta, okay, we can factor out yung sine theta na yun, okay, plus sine theta, or negative, may negative sign, nakalimutan ko yan, negative sine theta phi dot, okay, at itong matitira is sine, negative sine phi I hat plus cosine phi j hat, which is nothing but itong unit vector na phi hat. Okay, so phi hat. So yan yung ating r hat dot. Okay, so now we can write yung velocity. Okay, now we can write yung velocity which is equal to r hat dot, which is equal to r unit vector dot, okay, to be equal to r theta dot theta hat plus phi dot sine theta and then phi hat. Okay, so nakuha na natin yung para sa position, and then ngayon nakuha na natin yung para sa velocity. So the next step is to solve for the acceleration. Okay, and for us to do that, kailangan muna natin ng konting space dito. Okay, so magbubura-bura mo lang tayo sandali. Okay, so I'm going to erase this. Okay. Okay, iniwan ko to kasi gagamitin pa rin natin yung set of equations na yan. Okay, so the next step is to solve for the acceleration. Okay, if you recall, the acceleration is the second derivative of r with respect to time. Okay, and magsisimula tayo ngayon dun sa ating unit vector na r unit vector na r hat dot. Okay, and kukunin natin yung derivative niya with respect to time. Okay, so that means that if yung r, okay, sulat muna natin yung r at dot. So kanina na-derive natin yan as theta dot theta hat plus phi dot sine theta phi hat. So pag kukunin natin yung second derivative niyan, okay, we get, okay, so we get theta dot and then theta hat plus theta double dot, theta double dot theta hat, and then we have theta dot, okay, theta hat dot and plus phi double dot sine theta phi hat plus phi dot theta dot cosine theta phi hat plus phi dot sine theta phi hat dot. Okay, so which means na kailangan natin kunin ito at saka ito. Okay, so kunin natin time derivative nito at saka time derivative nito. Okay. So, I'll leave it to you to derive yung mga equations na yan. Susulat ko na lang kung ano yung madederive ninyo or dapat ninyong makuha. So, yung theta at dot, okay, should be equal to okay, negative theta dot r hat plus phi dot, okay, cosine theta phi hat. And then yung phi hat dot ay magiging equal sa negative phi dot, okay, times the quantity sine theta r hat plus cosine theta theta hat. Okay? Yung pagkuha nitong itong equation na ito, specifically itong equation na ito, will not be so straightforward. Okay? Ang kailangan yung gawin is that kailangan yung i-multiply yung r hat with sine theta, and then yung theta hat with cosine theta. Okay, at i-add yung dalawa na yan. Okay, and then you will end up with this equation. Okay, ngayon, bakit ko sinasabi yan? Kasi kung gagawin natin yung calculations dito, kung titignan niyo, this will become theta dot cosine, phi dot cosine phi I hat plus or minus phi dot sine phi j hat. Okay, so which is not straightforward. But remember, since ito ay cosine phi I hat at ito ay sine phi j hat, titignan nyo ito yung cosine phi I hat ninyo, ito yung sine phi j hat ninyo. So, para makuha nyo yung relationship ng time derivative nito at saka ng time derivative nun, kailangan nyong gawin tong operation na ito. Okay, so hayaan ko na muna kayong i-discover yan. Okay, but for now, ang gagawin natin is itong equation na ito ay papasok natin dito at itong equation na ito ay papasok natin doon. Okay, so that now this will give us, or after doing the algebra, after doing the work, okay, it will give us an expression for the acceleration which is equal to the time derivative of r, the second derivative of r with respect to time, at equal to ngayon sa capital R, okay, negative theta dot theta dot squared, okay, plus phi dot squared sine squared theta, okay, unit vector r hat plus theta double dot minus phi dot squared, okay, sine theta cosine theta theta hat, and then plus 2 theta dot phi dot cosine theta plus phi double dot sine theta phi hat. Okay, we can of course multiply all of this by m, okay, to get the net force. Okay, now if you recall, yung net force ay equal sa F theta theta hat plus F phi phi hat. So by comparing ito expression ito with this expression including the m, okay, we get F theta to be equal to mr times theta double dot minus phi dot squared sine theta cosine theta and f phi be equal to mr2 phi dot theta dot cosine theta plus phi double dot sine theta. Okay, so we have now the complete set of expressions for, or that will describe yung motion ng particle that is constrained over the or on the surface of the sphere. Okay, so now we move to problem number 3. Okay, so problem number 3, okay, a projectile is fired from the origin of the coordinate system with an initial velocity v naught and in a direction making an angle alpha with the horizontal. Okay, ang kailangan gawin is to calculate the time required for the projectile to cross a line. Okay, and that line passes through the origin and makes an angle beta with the horizontal where beta is less than alpha. Okay, so dito kailangan yung maintindihan kung anong nangyayari at iset up yung problem ng mabuti. Okay, and yun muna yung gagawin natin. So the first step is we'll see if we can understand kung ano nangyayari. First of all, meron tayong projectile. Okay, we define yung motion ng projectile in terms of yung coordinate system, Cartesian coordinate system, na kung saan yung x-axis describes yung horizontal motion and yung y-axis describes yung vertical motion. So that particle, okay, has an initial velocity, okay, v naught. Okay, and ito yung kanyang magiging trajectory, more or less. Okay, and yung ano na yon, yung particle na yon, okay, was thrown at an angle alpha. Now there's a line, okay, that passes through the origin, okay, and then just goes straight directly, okay, cutting through that trajectory. Okay, na ang angle ng line na yan is angle ng line na yan with respect to the horizontal axis is beta kasi yung beta is less than alpha. Okay, so ang pinapahanap is yung time from this point hanggang dun sa point wherein the projectile crosses the line. So ito yung point na yan. So tawagin natin itong point A, tawagin natin itong point B. Okay, medyo masyado yatang malaki yung dinrawing ko. And we'll see if we can fit yung mga equations dito sa problem na ito. Okay, so ganyan yung essentially nangyayari. Okay, so since this is a projectile, okay, and by definition, Okay, ang projectile is an object, okay, that experiences only one force, and that force is yung acceleration due to gravity. Okay, and if you define yung positive direction to be upward, ibig sabihin itong acceleration due to gravity is has a direction which points downward or which is negative. So if we break down yung net force na naranasan ng projectile na to along the x-axis, then this will be equal to mx double dot at equal yan sa 0 kasi there's no net force acting along the x-axis. Okay, on the other hand, along the y-axis, we have my, okay, double dot, which is equal to negative mg. Kasi yun lang yung only force na nag-act on it. Now, if we integrate this, then we have x dot equal to a constant. Okay, pero ano ba tong constant na ito? Since x dot is the velocity, this constant is the initial velocity, which in our case is v naught cosine alpha. Okay, since v naught and alpha are given, itong x dot is a known quantity. Similarly, we have y dot equals a negative negative g, y dot equals a negative g t, okay, and then plus some constant. Again, itong y dot o yung constant makukuha natin from the initial condition na at t equals 0, yung y dot naught is nothing but yung component ng v naught along the y-axis. So this will become equal to negative gt plus v naught sine alpha. Okay, and then finally, if we take the derivative, the integral of this, we get the position as a function of time. Okay, so this will be equal to v naught cosine alpha times t, and ito naman, take the integral with respect to time, then we have y of t equals to v naught sine alpha of t minus 1/2 gt squared. Okay, now at this point, at point B, okay, yung position ng object along the x-axis is given by this length, okay, which we for now call as AB, okay, times yung cosine ng beta. So at point B, x of t is equal to AB cosine beta, and y of t similarly can be obtained by considering this length, which is actually AB sine beta. Okay, so ipapasok natin yan ngayon doon at ipapasok natin yan dito. So what we'll have is an equation that relates A, or that you can write as AB cosine beta is equal to V naught cosine alpha t. Okay, at saka AB sine beta V naught sine alpha t minus 1/2 gt squared. Okay, so hindi naman natin kailangan yung AB, so we need to eliminate this. So we can say na AB equals sa V naught cosine alpha t all over cosine beta. Tapos yun ang ipapasok natin dito. Okay, yan ang ipapasok natin dito. So we have V naught t cosine alpha and then tangent beta equals v naught t sine alpha minus 1/2 gt squared. Okay, so we can rewrite this whole equation as 1/2 gt squared minus v naught sine alpha plus v naught cosine alpha tangent beta. Nakalimutan ko yung t dito at saka yung, of course, yung t dyan, equal to 0. Okay, so if I multiply this by 2 over g, I get t squared minus 2 v naught over g sine alpha t plus v naught cosine alpha tangent beta t 2 v naught over g tangent beta equals 0. So now I can isolate this. So I have two equations, two factors. So minus 2 v naught g and then sine alpha minus cosine alpha tangent beta equals 0. So I have two solutions. Okay, yung first solution is t equals 0, okay, which corresponds to yung initial time. So yan yung unang solution. And yung second solution corresponds to t equals 2 v naught over g, okay, times sine alpha minus cosine alpha tangent beta, okay, which corresponds to yung time dito sa point B, okay, which is yung pinapahanap dito sa problem. Okay. Okay. So now we move to the next problem. Okay, at yung next problem is actually quite simple. Okay, it's about a jet fighter pilot. Okay, so a jet fighter pilot knows he is able to withstand an acceleration of 9g before blacking out. Okay, the pilot points his plane vertically down while traveling at Mach 3 speed and intends to pull up in a circular maneuver before crashing into the ground. Letter A, where does the maximum acceleration occur in the maneuver? Letter B, what is the minimum radius the pilot can take? Okay, so again, kailangan i-visualize kung ano yung nangyayari dito sa problem na ito. Okay, so, yung una natin gagawin. Okay, so, ang gagawin natin is imamap natin yung trajectory ng pilot. So, from this point, okay, kung saan yung kanyang velocity ay equal sa 3 times 330 meters per second, okay, kasi ang Mach 3 corresponds to 3 times the speed of sound, okay, so pababa yung plane. Okay, so anong itsura ng plane? Well, it's looking downward, of course, and yung wings niya ay nandito. So it's yung wings niya ay perpendicular dito sa plane ng ship na ito. Okay, and then at this point, sisimula na siyang mag-curve, okay, hanggang sa tumigil na siya ng pag-curve and then babalik na siya paakyat. Okay, so ma-imagine natin na dito constant lang yung force at nagbabago yung force niya dito sa trajectory na ito or dito sa path na ito. Okay, so ano-ano ang dito tayo ngayon interesado. Ano ngayon yung net forces acting on the plane. So, halimbawa, andito yung plane, yung net force na nag-act on the plane, of course, yung normal force which is perpendicular to the path. Okay, and yung gravitational force which always points downward. Okay, so okay, klaruhin natin. Isa pa. And then ito points somewhere dun sa center circle. So ito yung ating normal force at ito yung ating gravitational force. Okay, and since it undergoes a circular path, yung net force nito is equal to mv squared over r. Okay, so mv squared over r, and then unit vector r hat. Okay, so equal to ngayon sa normal force minus mg. Okay, notice I used a unit vector r hat para dito sa centripetal force kasi nga naman along the radial axis, okay, kung spherical polar ito, along the radial axis yung centripetal force na ito. The normal force is actually perpendicular to sa radial axis. Okay, and yung gravitational force has a slightly different direction. It always points downward along this trajectory. Okay, and kung papansinin ninyo, itong gravitational force na yan ay meron parating component which is parallel to the radial component and a component which is perpendicular to the radial component. If the plane started here, yung mg at saka yung n ay perpendicular sa isa't isa, which means na walang radial component itong mg. So kung papansin nyo, habang nagmo-move yung plane along this path, palaki ng palaki yung radial component niya at palit ng paliit yung perpendicular component. Now from here, aakyat na ulit siya. So anong mangyayari naman dito is at this point pala, wala ka ng perpendicular component. Lahat ng component ay along the radius. Now afterwards, magkakaroon ka ulit, unti-unting lalaki ulit yung perpendicular component ng weight at pagdating dito sa point na ito, magiging zero na siya. On the other hand, dito malaki yung maximum yung radial component at palit ng palit yan hanggang sa dumating siya dito sa point na kung saan yung normal force is again perpendicular to the weight at wala na nga siyang radial component. So, kailan ito ngayon magiging maximum? Magiging maximum lang siya at this point kung saan maximum yung weight, okay, along the radial axis. So, ito ngayon yung point kung saan maximum yung normal force. And yan, at dapat dito sa point na ito, hindi mag-collapse or hindi mag-blackout yung piloto. So it's here that we should compute for the minimum, for the minimum radius ng pag-ikot ng piloto. Okay, so this means that we can write our equation as n minus mg equals mv squared over r na lang kasi lahat sila ay collinear. They're all along the radius. By the way, okay, hindi. Sige, tama yan. Okay, and mangyayari dito is n equals mg sandali. Okay, equal n equals mg plus mv squared over r. Ngayon, ano itong normal force na ito? Yung normal force, yan yung force na ina-exert ng plane dun sa piloto. And it must not exceed 9 Gs. Okay? Which means that if this is the normal force, this must be less than 9 Gs. Or, sorry, dapat may m dito kasi ang g is just acceleration, so we have to put in yung mass. Okay, so, kakancel lahat ng mass naman in any case. So, ang matitira na lang ay 9g must be greater than v squared over r plus g, or 8g must be greater than or equal to v squared over r. If you write this in terms of r, then we have r must be greater than or equal to v squared over 8g. Now, knowing that v is just 3 times 330 meters per second, quantity squared over 8 times 9.8 meters per second squared. Okay, we can solve this and get an answer of 12.5 kilometers. So, dapat itong radius na ito must not decrease, must not go below 12.5 kilometers. Otherwise, okay, magsisimula ng mag-blackout yung piloto. Okay, at hindi na ito magiging circular yung path from here. Okay?